Okay, let's get started, guys. So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's extraordinary session on mastering your US university application process with Education USA Advisor. So, before getting started to the main topic, I just wanted to give you a brief about what Galvanize is and what we do. So, Galvanize Global Education is an end-to-end provides end-to-end personalized solutions for students and working professionals aspiring to pursue a global degree abroad. We help with test preparations like SAT, GRE, TOEFL, IELTS. We help with admission counseling right from your bachelor's, master's, MBAs, and doctorate degrees. We also help with you with the value services like education loan providers, connect you with the right courier services, forex, students insurance, and many more. Galvanize Global Education is founded and managed by alumni of Stanford, IIT Madras, and IIT Ahmedabad. Students from 65 plus countries have chosen Galvanize for the study abroad journeys. You can see the countries over here in the alphabetical order. We have enabled our students to reach 1,000 plus universities across 18 plus countries. We help students to reach to the dream university with best scholarship also. You can check out our reviews on Quora. I'll be sharing it with you on the chat box in few minutes from now. So without wasting any further ado about the speaker. So we have Arvind Sivamani, who's an EducationUSA Advisor at US India Educational Foundation. Arvind has worked in the education sector for since 2013 at both public and private university with an experience in student recruitment, engagement programs, and internship from more than 15 plus countries. He holds an undergrad degree in commerce and graduate degree in information technology. So without wasting any further ado, I'm handing over the stage to Arvind.
Thank you so much for the introduction and the presentation. And to all the students who have joined this session, welcome. So we'll be talking about how to improve and master your US University application. I'm Arvind Sivamani, just a small reintroduction. I'm Arvind Sivamani and I'm an Education USA Advisor. We endorse and promote higher education in the US. And if you have any queries on how to approach the process and where do I start, what all do I need to do in order to study in the US at any university in the US, you can approach Education USA. I will be doing a presentation. So if you have any questions, and I hope that you do have any questions during the course of the presentation, please do share that in the chat box. We will get to the questions. We will try to answer as many questions as possible after the presentation is over. And with that, let me I hope you're all able to see the presentation, view the presentation. Are you Galvanize team? Are you able to view the presentation?
Yes, Arvind. Yes.
All right, then I'll just go on. So today's presentation is mastering your US university application, and this is will be done by we'll be providing you tips and suggestions as to how to do that. But before that, a few words about Education USA. 1 minute. Yeah, we provide guidance to students who wish to pursue both undergraduate and or graduate programs in the US. We are supported by the US Department of State, which means we are a government funded organization. We aim to provide accurate, comprehensive, current, and most importantly, unbiased information. We have about 430 plus centers in 170 plus countries. And in India, we are located in 5 cities with 6 centers. So we have one center in Chennai, 2 centers in Hyderabad, and one in Kolkata, one in Mumbai, and one in New Delhi. So we have several students, joining us from. I'm not sure how many cities, but if you have any sort of questions about where your nearest Education USA center is, you can approach us, and we will be able to guide you. In Chennai, and I'm joining from
Hi,
the
Arvind.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Like, there's some issue on your screen. Like on the left and the right part, we are not able to see it clearly.
All right. I'm not sure why that is. Are you able to view it now?
Yeah, the left part, yes. The above one, we are not.
What about now?
There's some more at the top. The first line, we are not able to view basically. Yeah, now it's clear.
Now it's clear. All right, fine. I'm not sure what issue was. All right, fine. Um, Yeah, getting back to the presentation. So I'm joining from the Education USA Chennai Center. We are located inside the US consulate. So inside the US consulate in Chennai, there's an American center, and we have an adjoining space with the American center. This is a American center is a library of sorts, and there are many programs and many ways to engage with the students and teachers. And this is more or less a library, and we have an adjoining space with that where you'll find the United States India Educational Foundation office, and you can approach us. I mean, you can let us know in advance that you want to have an appointment, and we'll be able to do that. Now, since it's consulate premises and it is operational on your limited hours, so you can we do virtual advising as well. So that's information for you. Before getting into the presentation of mastering your US university application, I thought we'll just go through the fundamentals. So you have public universities, you have private universities. Public universities tend to charge a bit lesser than private universities. Then again, it depends on the location of the campus and the type of campus it is. There are liberal arts and sciences colleges, specialized institutions, and technological institutions. And you may realize, or you may, like have figured out that the US university, the term or the nomenclature postgraduate is not extensively used. So a bachelor's is undergraduate, or anything after any degree after you do your undergraduate program it falls under the graduate category, which is master's, doctoral, integrated master's plus PhD and postdoctoral. So if you want to do a graduate degree, you can specify that it is a master's degree or the PhD degree that you're looking for. The admission cycles, again, you have the fall intake, which just got over, which is August to September. This is when the program will start. And the spring intake will start from January or February, and then there is a summer intake as well. So when you are looking for programs, depending on the demand of the program, you can ask the institute whether a particular program is offered for all these three admission cycles. Just for your knowledge, in case you want any deferral options or so, it should be that information will be useful. The application deadlines for the fall intake of next year, the applications have already started opening, and I hope you're all in the middle of applying. I mean, those who are looking for fall intake of 2025. I hope you've all started applying, and that's going in good progress. And there is a spring application deadline, which will be from August to November, and then there is a summer intake, and then there is a rolling admission. So rolling admission, there is no specific date as such. Whenever you apply, they'll let you know when the next application deadline is. Rolling admission is usually for research-based programs or PhD programs and so on. This is the crux of what Education USA does. So we simplify the steps to your 5 steps to US study. It's a common knowledge that applying to the US can be a long drawn out process, which it is. But it doesn't have to be a complicated or a convoluted process, which is why you take it one step at a time. So once you have researched your options and you've figured out the financing options, then you come to your when you get down to applying, you have a finite number of or limited number of applications, and then you complete your application. And then once you complete your application, you'll the college will let you know if you've been admitted or not. And once you're admitted and you submit your rest of the documents, like proof of finance or the final year mark sheet and so on, they will release the I-20. That is a document with which you apply for visa. And then when getting a slot and all that becomes a major part of, at that point of time, that becomes a major this thing, your task. And then once that is done, you prepare for your departure. So all through this, we do a guided advising. So when we say research your options, we do not shortlist the universities for you. Rather, we'll tell you how to shortlist them or how to find your right fit. What kind of priorities should you be having? What kind of requirements should you be having? And we'll also share a lot of if you subscribe to our newsletters, you'll get to know about different scholarships there are. And if you attend our Education USA fairs and other US University alumni fairs that is upcoming, you'll get to interact with the universities, either the representatives or the alumni, and then you'll get to know more about what are the financing options, what are the financial aid, and so on. Now, today we are going to focus on step 3, which is completing your application. As and so that entails the major how exactly should you be concentrating, or can you focus on an overall quality of application. So I'll come to this slide later, and I'll focus on this slide for a few minutes. So when we say graduate application package, that is the application form plus application fee, your academic transcripts, which is your mark sheets, and your test scores, which is GRE, GMAT, and then the English proficiency scores, TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, Duolingo, and any other that the university may recommend. Now, you might also have, I mean, those who have already started the process or have looked into universities, you may have noticed that a lot of universities are now transitioning into let's say GRE optional or TOEFL optional, or if you have a certain score more than this, you don't have to, you're exempt from taking the GRE or GMAT. And the same goes for English proficiency scores. Some universities are still reinstating it. Some universities are keeping it optional. Some universities are saying it's not required at all. So all these are either conditional or they might, they differ from university to university. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. So when you start out by shortlisting universities, and if your priority is, what I want to look for universities that are that have GRE optional or GRE not required for the program that I'm looking for, then that becomes your requirement. So you start looking at universities that way. So I know that becomes your priority. So if to each person, the list of universities that you shortlist is customized. So one thing that we always tell the students is never choose a course or a college because your best friend is doing it. Never choose a course or a college because everyone says it's good. Of course, it is their perspective, it is their experience of how it was a right fit for them. But you will have to do the due diligence and homework of how this university is going to be a good fit for you. And only then you will be able to convince them that you are a good fit for that university. Please do keep this in mind. And then comes the letters of recommendation. So you need to focus on the right people to get the letters of recommendation from, specifically, professors who have taught you courses, the courses for, which are strong prerequisites for the course that you're going to pursue over there. And then comes your statement of purpose, and then your any other supplemental essays or personal statement, and then your financial documents. And then if there is a resume and interview, again, interview depending on the type of program that you're going for. And if you're going for a PhD program, then there is a research statement as well. Now, I'll be getting into the details of each and every component of this. This is just a timeline guidance for you. So, you take the GRE GMAT. Now, the question comes, the question that students usually put forth is, okay, there's optional, there's not mandatory, there's not required. Do I take the GRE? Do I not take the GRE or GMAT? Now, again, this is our recommendation to students is take the scores. I mean, take the test, take the GRE or GMAT test. I mean, it's something that at least, I mean, even if you're going for universities that are let's say not not required or optional, what we recommend is maybe if the time permits and if you're up for it, do take the GRE or GMAT test, because it is better to have it and not need it, and to or than to need it and not have it. So if you have the scores and if they happen to be good scores, it may open up a few more good options for you, especially options that are that says, or universities that says GRE GMAT is mandatory. One or two better options open up, it could be good for you. You can always add those into your application roster. If not, then fine. And then August or September, the applications might start opening. I mean, there might be the application cycle will start. You may have to create your accounts on several application portals. And then you can look at funding opportunities, you can look at priority deadlines. And then by September, November, you should have your statement of purpose and letters of recommendations ready. Now, see, most of you who have done your undergraduate and or pursuing your undergraduate program in India, now most of the programs that you're pursuing, an interview might not have been part of the process. Statement of purpose may not have been part of the process. There's usually like an entrance examination, and then there's your 10th and 12th scores, or 11th and 12th scores, plus an entrance examination score if the program is the type of program that you get through an entrance examination. And that's more or less the requirements. So but for getting into a US university, there's more. There's a statement of purpose, there's LOR, there's a resume. They look at each and every, all these components become integral to your overall quality of application. So just because someone has like a really good score, like a really good GPA, does not mean that that it's a sure shot admission. They still have to focus on a good SOP, good LOR to get through. I mean, there have been so many cases where certain GPA, a student with higher GPA may not have gotten admission, but a slightly lesser GPA might have gotten admission because their SOP was good, their LOR was pretty tight, and they also have some sort of experience, or they knew what they were getting into, and they were able to convince that they are a good fit for the university. So that can always happen. So please focus on getting into focus on an overall quality of application. It has to be holistic. All right. So information that US universities usually look for in application is your personal data, your demographic information, your residency information. That's one that goes without saying. What kind of family background is it? What kind of educational background do you have? If you have any work experience, and if the program that you are going for requires work experience, yes, then work experience becomes a it's an information that they are looking for. uh, Academic honors, awards, or publications. Now, this point, the general rule of thumb is you take the courses that you're supposed to take. Now, you and your friends, and you're all taking the same, almost the same set of courses. And the courses that you're taught, you're taking exams for those, those credits or courses. Your universities will look for US universities will look for something. Let's say, let's call it the extra mile. What has the student done beyond the confines of a classroom in this particular subject? Have they gone for any publications? Have they gone for, let's say, a student in computer science, or has they have they how have they taken part in hackathons? Have they published any papers? Have they done any sort of internship or any sort of experience that goes beyond the confines of the classroom? So it's something that shows that you have excelled in this subject, and you have taken an initiative or a keen interest in learning this, something that will vouch for it. Some sort of an event or a conference, or hackathons, like I said. If those kind of events can activities can vouch for it, that becomes a really good point. And of course, that there's a test course, which is your GRE or GMAT. And then what sort of program are you going for? Now, again, the kind of program that you've done and the kind of program that you're getting into, there should be a nice segue to it. There should be a good transition to it. So you have to let them know, why exactly are you looking to do this program? Are you genuinely interested in this? If so, how are you interested, and why are you interested in this particular program? What urged you to do the program that you're currently doing, and what has urged you, what has motivated you to choose the program that you plan to do, and why this university? That is also something that they will look for. why have you chosen this particular university? I mean, there are multiple options, multiple, universities that are offering the same course, but why are you looking at this particular university? How is it a good fit for you? So this is where the good fit comes into play. They will definitely want to hear from you as to why you have chosen this particular university. So that is and that reason has to go beyond the concept of rankings. That has to go beyond the concept of hearsay. I mean, it cannot be just, oh, this is ranked this much, and or my friends have gone to this place and they've told me great things. Of course, those are valid reasons from your perspective, but they want to hear, I mean, they don't want to hear that part of it. They want to hear why you think it's a good fit for you. So keep this in mind. Do formulate those kind of answers. And as I'm talking, I think you must have already, some of you or most of you, I hope, have already started formulating those answers, which is good. So keep going with that. Um, Extracurricular activities, and when I say extracurricular activities, I'm talking about, I mean, at least when at a graduate level, extracurricular activities is something that is associated with your field of study. So that is what extracurricular activities means. Community service experience, again, that's a minor part of it, but I mean, and they look for it more on the undergraduate level. I mean, students who are seeking undergraduate programs, it's not much of this thing. At least as on date, it's not much of a requirement. If you have it, well and good. If you don't, it's fine. Then coming to the transcripts. So the admissions or the evaluation committee, or the admissions office or evaluation committee will go through each and every subject that you've taken in your bachelor's program. They will require both semester wise and sometimes the consolidated mark sheets also. But do check this with the university. I mean, again, it may differ from university to university. So those who have graduated from, the if you are going for a 4-year program, then yeah, I mean, most of the programs in the US, I mean, all the bachelor programs in the US are 4 years. And if you're from a bachelor program with 3 years, please check with universities. Check with the university over there and confirm the eligibility. Do whatever it takes to confirm the eligibility before going ahead. And again, goes without saying, get all this confirmation in writing from the universities. Of course, you may have talked to a representative, and they might have told you, yeah, it all looks good, but always follow up and get this confirmation in writing. Now, some of the programs, if you're going for a, probably like a very, if there is a shift or some sort of a leap in the field of study, then they may want to do credential evaluation. And most of the 3-year programs also, they may require you to do credential evaluation. In those cases, do ask the university if they have a tie-up with a certain credential services. The reason I'm saying this is some of the universities may have tie-up in such a way that it may save you maybe again some $30 or $40 or even $50 when you're doing credentials, when you're taking the credential services requirements. So give it time for all that. If you are required to do credential services, give it some time, so you have enough time on your hands to do all this. I mean, it shouldn't be a last minute process. Coming to the standardized test or English proficiency, check with I mean, document all information. I mean, if you're looking at 7 to 8 universities, ideally, then you have to document all this information and see what universities require what kind of, score. And if you have enough scores, if you have the minimum eligibility to apply, then go ahead and apply. Have time for all this. uh, Plan your way in, so, plan your timeline in such a way that you have buffer time for everything. So the sooner you start the process, the less hastier it is going to be. I'll let this sink in. So yeah, please do read the slide and then I'll explain. First point that I want to stress upon is avoid using tools like ChatGPT to write your SOPs. Please do not do that. I mean, they want to know what you think about something. They want to know what you want to put forth. They will. look for any sort of discrepancy or inconsistency in your writing style. So some of the universities I even come out in their website and have explicitly mentioned that the about their what their policy on chat GPT kind of usages. They'll tell you that if you do that, it is a reason for disqualification. So they want to know what you think about yourself and how you put yourself forth in an academic and professional manner. So take your time and draft your SOPs properly. Now, yeah, so if you look at the right side, it says what you present in your application is the only way the admissions committee or the department has to know about you. So if I'm putting in an application, the application, my marks, my SOPs, my LOR, these are the only way that a particular college will know about Arvind Sivamani. Otherwise, what is Arvind Sivamani as a person? They have no idea to gauge other than the application I put forth. So you have to make the best impression of yourself with the overall quality of application. All right. Be very truthful about it and be thorough. Make sure there is a good flow in your SOPs. And if there's any sort of discrepancies, like you may have had a gap year, you may have had some time to, taken some time off. Maybe there is a was an year where you fell ill and there was a gap in that process and you missed a semester or two. You can explain all that. So whatever happened, just explain that. I mean, try not to hide any information like that. They will need to know all that. I mean, it shouldn't be a case where they discover it much later and then say, oh no, we didn't know about this. And that creates a very, very bad impression. So be truthful about it. Coming to the letters of recommendation, on principle, letter of recommendation is confidential. So whoever you're providing as a reference, please make sure you contact them beforehand and let them know that you want them to draft an LOR for you. And please get in touch with faculty members who know you. A generic LOR does little or not much of not it doesn't add much of value, little or no value. So the LOR has to talk about the students strengths and weaknesses, what they are capable of. It has to talk about, yes, I've seen the student do this, they're thoroughly good with this, they're really, they take initiatives, they take do they can do all this, and I've supervised them or I have taught them this subject. This is my evaluation of the particular student. That is a kind of LOR that you need. um, Again, it shouldn't be generic. It has to talk about you. Like I said, your application has to be about you. It shouldn't be a very generic statement talking about someone. It shouldn't come off as okay, this could be, the particular LOR could be talking about anyone. But we want it, and it has to sort of make sense to them. I mean, the kind of subject or course that you're applying for, the LOR should be talking about something on those lines. This is why I said you have to find a good fit both for course as well as college. This LOR also has to, it will be complementary to the other parts of your other aspects of your application. So you get an idea here. So if you are an evaluation committee and you're looking at, several components of it, it all should make one big picture. It has to make sense. Okay, this is the kind of student that we are getting into our university, and we really, really like this application. Yeah, like I said, approach the right person. You have to approach someone who knows you and who has taught you a subject. That subject has to be like a strong prerequisite for the course that you're taking over there. That is a bonus point. And considering most of the faculty members, at least in private, or I'm sorry, in public universities and some of the private universities, faculty members may tend to go on some sort of a research break or sabbatical and so on. So it um, would be good advice or good practice to approach them well in advance and let them know that this is your plan and this is what you need to do. So most of the times, if you have a good rapport with the recommender, your job is half. half done. You can let them know that this is what you plan to do. These are the universities that you're planning to apply to, and then if they are, if and you can also get their advice on how to go about it. Yes, and after getting the LOR and after, after everything comes through, please thank them. I mean, most of the students, I mean, you must have seen your own seniors do this. They will, they'll put their, this thing once they reach the university, they'll, have a good photo, selfies and all that, and they'll put it up on the, mostly on LinkedIn, saying that I'm starting a new journey, starting an exciting journey, embarking on a new adventure, and all that side of a cliche statement. But what they fail to do is, through email or through LinkedIn posts and all that, they tend to miss out on, thanking their the faculty member who provided them with letters of recommendations. So do that. I mean, either through email or through, LinkedIn post and whatever it is, do thank them. Do let them know that, this was quite instrumental in doing this. So that doing that sort of thing will have a good, will maintain that rapport. So your rapport has to go beyond, the 3 or 4 years of college. So do that. I mean, your professionalism starts right there. I've already covered this, but I'm reiterating, just to reiterate, I have put it in writing for you. Also, this has also happened. I mean, what has happened one time was one letter of recommendation, and choose at least 3 to 4 people for getting your letters of recommendation. I'll tell you why. Because you approach one person and they're writing multiple letters of recommendations, as in for different universities. Sometimes they'll put up a statement saying, yeah, this is why I think the student is a good fit for so and so university, and then send it to some other university, or the university is a mismatch. I mean, they write one university on the paper and send it to some other university. That has happened. So make sure you talk to your the faculty member and or the recommender, and make sure whatever they are putting in is the correct information, or otherwise they can just omit that particular part of it. That's also fine. So please do that. I mean, like I said, LOR is confidential, so the email or the portal link or whatever it is that gets shared to the faculty member directly. So try to follow up on this. It's basic etiquettes. It's basic ethics. So don't try to push them, or don't try to draft the LORs for them. Choose LOR recommenders accordingly, so who have good written communication skills, and then choose them wisely. Sometimes your recommenders might require certain information from you, so get that information also ready. So what all should your resume have? It should have your updated GRE or English GRE scores, or GMAT scores, or your GPA and your English proficiency test scores, and your what kind of core subjects have you taken? What is your core area? What kind of projects have you undertaken? If you have gone for any industry internship or research internship, please do mention that. What kind of technical skills do you have? I mean, and are those technical skills relevant for the program that you are taking? Again, extracurricular activities, like I mentioned, those have to be associated with the main field of study that you're going for. Community service activities, and what kind of languages do you speak? I mean, they do appreciate diversity, because that's all the keyword right now. So if you speak maybe more than 4 or 5 languages, that is also like a good thing. I mean, you can always mention that you are keen on learning languages and so on. I mean, that is something. I mean, if you're not, then fine, it's okay. You don't have to stress upon something that you don't have a flair for, and that's totally fine. So coming to the SOP, uh, determine how many essays you need to write. The main SOP and the supplemental essays. What are the kind of teams? What kind of university are you applying for? And what is the vibe? What is the campus vibe? What is the university vibe? And what are the specifications? Some of the SOPs will also they'll mention that this needs to be it needs to be 12 point, it needs to be Calibri or Times New Roman, it needs to be Arial. This is the kind of spacing they want. do look into all that. I mean, please look into that sort of information. That attention to detail is everything, and it has to talk about your activities, your achievements, your what sort of how about taking that particular course that you've taken in your bachelor's has changed your perspective on things, and how it has changed you academically and professionally. What kind of projects have you undertaken? What went wrong? What went right? And what did you learn from it? That is what you need to tell them. SOP format can vary by university to university. I mean, no one university has the same format as the other one. Some are structured, some are semi-structured, some are completely unstructured. Some universities will tell you that this is exactly what you need to tell them. They'll have different sections to a certain SOP. They'll tell you this is what you need to talk about, and this is what we need to hear. This, if you've taken any project, talk about the project. If you've taken any internship, talk about the internship. I'm talking about structured SOPs. Some have a word limit. Most of them tend to have a word limit. So stick to the word limit. Another point is, if let's say a particular word limit has 500 words, and you finish everything by 300 words, and that's fine. You don't have to specifically fill up the other 150 or 200. You don't have to do that. If you are able to concise something or entail something within the word limit, that's totally fine. You don't have to, unless and until mentioned otherwise, you don't have to fill up the entire word limit, just because it says so. There can be multiple essays, especially for MBA applications, optional essays, research statement, work experience. Again, there might be, if you have work experience, they might ask you to talk about the work experience and what kind of upskill have you done. Yeah, coming to the structure, again, we find a lot of students, or the usual SOP. Usually, I mean, this is on a very light-hearted note. The usual SOPs always start with some sort of a quote, probably by Mahatma Gandhi, or Charles Babbage, or some sort of some eminent personality. There's a quote, and then the rest of the SOP, may have nothing to do with the particular quote. They'll just start with a very cliche quote. So I mean, there's nothing stopping you from starting with a quote, but make sure the quote that you're using is sort of relevant to the rest of the SOP that follows. Otherwise, don't you don't have to use quotes. That's totally fine. You can just start off with like an introduction, and then what sort of theme are you following, and every paragraph, it has to have a certain avoid redundancies, avoid talking about the same topic twice. If in a particular paragraph you are taking up you're explaining about a certain project, that it should be concise, it should be brief, and it should talk about almost you don't have to like go above the board and tell them that you were the best of the lot and you were the sing and other that sort of over glorification of certain things doesn't need to happen. I mean, this sort of SOP draft and all that will only come with practice. So start drafting your SOPs. The first draft of your SOPs, you're not going to submit it anywhere. So that draft is for you. And when you start, working on that particular, your second draft, third draft, by the time you come to the eighth or tenth draft, that is when you start streamlining or fine tuning your SOP. So that is how it is. And another thing, ideally one SOP for every university that you're applying for. Try not to do the whole, having one master SOP and then doing a control C, control V for every other university you're doing. Try to work on each and every SOP, because, like I said, SOP structure and everything, the format of SOPs will differ from university to university. So try to work on this university. Let them know that you've actually put in work. All right. Pre-writing. So what you want to put in, what sort of outline do you have, and then yeah, work on the draft. And then revise it, read it aloud, and then double check spelling and grammar, prose and all that. Please, double check. I mean, sometimes someone will do a spell check on, Word file, but again, the word file might not know certain, if you've instead of R, OUR, if you typed OUT, the spell check might not know that it is a mistake over there. So that can become a mistake. So read it twice, read it thrice if you need to, and then submit all that. Uh, if in this process, if it becomes too overwhelming for you, close down the, shut down your system, and then take a look at it maybe 1 or 2 days later. Maybe you look at it from a fresh perspective. Maybe you will want to add few more points that you didn't think of previously. At no point should the whole process become overwhelming. I mean, that is also something that we recommend. Of course, this advice only goes if you have enough time or buffer time on your hands. So that goes without saying. Spelling, grammar, punctuation, and then spacing. You don't have to use words from the thesaurus or the dictionary. Simple language. Keep it simple. Keep it understandable. There should be a proper flow. It has to be coherent. It has to be cohesive. And another thing is, yeah, answer a question differently, but do not answer a different question. So whatever is being asked, answer to that point. And then again, to answer why to this thing, and then creative imagery. You don't have to, unless and until the program that you're going for is some sort of a creative writing program. You don't have to get into creative writing. So you have to keep it simple. It has to be, like I said, if someone spends about 5 minutes reading your SOP, they should be able to get all the information that they need. Whatever you intend to communicate is what should be perceived. Keep that in mind when you draft your SOPs. The second point here that becomes, it's very important, because we find a lot of students, talking about, when we talk to them, we don't exactly, extensively review SOPs, but SOPs that we usually come across, or the students, they tell us about it. What happens is, sometimes they'll talk about how they were not able to do a certain program or a certain internship because their college right now doesn't have that sort of exposure, or they'll say some stuff like, my college never gave me this opportunity, or I never had this opportunity to pursue this in this thing. Or sometimes they'll go overboard and say this is I can't, this India doesn't have this, or my country doesn't have this, or something of that sort. See, what you're intending to, put it in writing, it may be partially true, but it should be drafted in such a way that you're looking forward to do this, or you want to learn more about this. And this is what you've learned so far, and you want to learn more about this. Never put down your college or your place, or, your country, and then just to glorify the college that you want to get into. That is not exactly, it's not a brownie point in your favor. It is not a, it's in fact, it's a negative if you do that. So try not to do that. I mean, because we find a lot of people doing that. So stick to the word limit. These are the points that we want to focus on. Of course, I mean, if you want to have more information, do check the Education USA India YouTube channel. There are more videos like this, especially the videos are released in the last 1.5 years. Keep keep checking this YouTube channel. You will find a lot of information, with specifics to finding financial aid, or finding SOP. How to write a good SOP. And you'll also find different universities talk about what they want to see when they say, have an SOP, or they when they see a LOR. We've sort of come to the end of the presentation. And if there are, I mean, I'll just tell you about what all we do. We have Ask an Advisor session that happens every day from Monday to Friday from 4 to 5. You'll be able to log on to the our Zoom this thing, and then you'll be able to ask us a question. Each day, each center takes up the Ask an Advisor session. So on one day it will be Chennai, and one day it will be Mumbai center. So any day, any given day from 4 to 5, you can just log on to this thing from Monday to Friday. Medium light skin tone. Sorry. So, and then you can just go on to that. And there's also virtual advising. We are very active on Facebook and Instagram. So keep checking those ones as well. On Instagram, again, every Friday, there's usually a 20 questions live Instagram live session that happens from 6:30 to 7. You'll get to they'll have rapid fire questions and put forth 20 questions to any US universities, and they'll talk about their university. So it's a good way to find out about different universities within a short span of time. So I mean, for and we have more. We have Education USA fairs, we have US University alumni fairs, we have pre-departure orientations for people who have gotten admitted. So to get all this, please do get in touch with Education USA India. I'm from Education USA Chennai, so our email ID is chennai@educationusa.org, and our WhatsApp number is 9500084773. I'll leave the slide for 2 minutes, and if we are taking in any questions, we can do the. So the team from Galvanize, do we have time for questions?
Yes, Arvind. So we'll give you a 2 minutes of break.
Sure.
Before that, I wanted to share some insights from Galvanize to our students today who are
All right.
attending.
Can I stop sharing then?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I hope everyone liked the session with Arvind. And if you have any questions, please post in the chat box. Arvind will be taking it from there. So what does Galvanize do? So I have some insight for you guys. So we are a complete end-to-end solution for admission counseling. The first thing we do is a profile evaluation call, which is an onboarding process where we identify what are the students' requirement. We shortlist universities based on the three different categories, which is ambitious, practical, and safe. Then we help with the document process, final draft for resume, SOP, LOR, and based on the inputs given by the students. After that, we help with the visa counseling as well. Then financial requirements like loans, and then we help with the pre-departure services. So Galvanize brand built by popular products and services, like we have 65 plus customers from 65 plus countries, and on the desperate part, we have 20 percentile increment from the national score. Our admission success rate is 99% if you follow our proper guidelines. We have helped students to receive admits from 140 plus specialization and to 16 different countries. Perks and advantages of our test prep process. We have personalized study plan, unlimited ask an expert, in-depth analytics and feedback, personalized AWA grading, practice questions, and full and mock tests. The benefits are we have the updated test pattern and it's most affordable, highly credible, complete solution, and no way you send. So without wasting any further ado, like I have shared the profile evaluation link on the chat box. I request everyone to fill up and get your profile evaluated by a top admissions expert at Galvanize. So here are some of our case studies. Like we have Ribrita from West Bengal, who is from IIT Roorkee, got an admit to MIT for her PhD, which is ranked number one. You can see her CGPA or GRE score. Then we have Sumit from Mumbai. Basically, he studied from BITS Pilani, mechanical engineering, and went to University of Pennsylvania for his master's in electrical engineering. It's also an Ivy League school, basically. Then we have Mohit from IIT Dhanbad, who has gone to Dartmouth for his engineering management, ranked 5, and it's also an Ivy League college. Then we have Shweta from RVCE Bangalore, who has gotten admitted to Cornell for her engineering management, ranked 13 by QS World University ranking. Then we have Harini from Triple ITDM. She got an admit to Carnegie Mellon University, which is ranked 1 for CSE department and 3 for the most innovative school in global. Then we have Vittal from SRM University, who has got an admit to NYU for his master's in electrical engineering, ranked 37th in the best universities. Then we have Aishwarya from Bangalore, who has got the best admit in John Hopkins for her MS in biotechnology, ranked 28th. So yes, here is the profile evaluation link. You can take a photo. I have also shared the link on the chat box. We have limited access to it. Please make sure you use this and get your profile evaluated today by a top admission expert. So yes, we are up for questions. Any questions, please put it in the chat box or you can raise your hands. I can unmute you and you can ask the questions directly to Arvind.
We do have a question here from M. Shukla. I mean, I don't know how exactly this ties into the education. This thing, just to let you know, M. Shukla, we are an education, this thing we can specialize in education. But the question is, how's the US job market actually? I'm told of very dire situation or bad situation, it's always some sort of a histogram. So if you are good in your field, there's always some sort of an opportunity. But having said that, I mean, beyond that, we may not have to, we may not give extensive advising on the job market, since that is not where our expertise is. But I do, since you asked, I can share one link here. Please do take a look at it. It attempts, so this is O star net online. So you can take a look at this, and it will tell you about different fields and what are the demand and supply for different fields. We find it to be a useful tool as suggested or recommended by experts. Any other questions?
Yes, no, I guess there's no more questions. So before we wind up the session, I request everyone to fill up the profile evaluation form, which I have shared you on the chat. Don't hesitate, fill the right details, and our experts will get in touch with you and help you with the best admits possible. I don't see any questions,
I
Arvind.
do.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this question is from Krishna. Sir, I'm a first year undergrad law student and I want to take admission in a good USA university for undergrad. Okay. So I'm assuming that's for transfer program. Is it good to take a drop from Sing and in first year and prepare for US university? I would suggest go for, I mean, if you want to drop and then go for a program, or I don't know if you're looking for transfer programs, either way, if you have a gap year, I mean, if you're dropping out and then prepare for a US university, and if you have a gap year, the gap year also, I mean, you have to account for something in that gap year, and it has to cannot be simply I was preparing for US university. So they need to know that you've used that time well. Or if it is a transfer program, then I would recommend reaching out to universities and asking them how exactly transfer programs work and what sort of, and if you're going for, again, if you're going for a law program, what sort of requirements do they have? Do they want to, have a look at LSAC or that kind of program? And it also helps if you want what kind of law you want to get into, because different universities in different regions may have a certain, I mean, they offer all kind of law programs, but certain universities have a strength in particular law. It could be maritime law, it could be corporate law, it could be civil law, and so on. So do that part of research, and then I'm not sure if you're going for I mean, if you intend to go for a transfer program or dropping and going for a program from first year. Either way, do your research and then go for it. But if there is a gap year, you have to account for it. I mean, there has to be something that you did in your gap year, like an internship or some sort of an upskill that you need to. That sort of works in your favor in your application. I don't see any other questions. Oh yeah, I do see. Is it already too late now to apply for MS in US for fall 25, fall 2020? No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not late. The applications have just started opening, and if you're ready with your, application or components of the application, it's not late. You can start applying, but make sure you have shortlisted your universities. If you have the shortlisted this thing ready, then go for it. Talk to the universities, write to the universities, and like have a proper this thing chat with them or some sort of a back and forth communication before you go ahead with that. Yes, there are websites for shortlisting universities like gradschools.com and petersons.com. Gradschools.com and petersons.com are two websites that we recommend for shortlisting universities. These websites will let you filter, as in put in as many requirements as you want, what kind of major you're looking for, what kind of program you're looking for, what kind of cost of attendance range that you're looking for, if you're looking for any particular scholarships or financial aid. And a couple of these websites may also require you to create a profile so that it can throw out the fitting results for you. Is there a preference of TOEFL over IELTS in USA? Though nothing like that. It's TOEFL or IELTS majorly taken for all universities, TOEFL and IELTS. Some of them started taking Duolingo also. I mean, especially with during COVID. But TOEFL IELTS usually is what is preferred. And another thing, just wanted to sing. I mean, I'm not sure how many of you are from, Chennai or surrounding regions like Kerala, Karnataka, or, Tamil Nadu. We have a US University Alumni Fair that is happening on November 23rd. We have about 10 to 15 universities that are currently registering, and you will be able to talk to these. So these are not representatives, but these are people who have studied in those universities, so you'll get to talk to them about what was their experience about, and they'll tell you about what was their experience, the academic as well as the non-academic aspects of being an international student in a US university. So if you're interested, please do let us know. I mean, I will send you the registration forms very soon. That's all that is getting ready. But it's happening on November 23rd, 2024, and it's a Saturday, and it's happening in Chennai. So any other doubts, please let us know. I mean, that's any other doubts? Maybe 2 more minutes we can. I'm Shukla. I'm typing I'm pasting it here. Wait. And if the links or email IDs or anything that I've typed in the chat box, please do. I mean, if you want, copy it onto a Word file or something, because once the session, I mean, if you close this window, you'll lose access to those links. I do have one more. This thing, does a malpractice case in one subject during undergraduate studies affect our profile? Yes, it does. It will. That shouldn't stop you from applying, but it at least gets to a point where you're thoughtful about it. So that's fine. I mean, it will affect your profile. I mean, there's no two ways about it. It's always there. Yeah. Can a professor submit their LOR from their personal email ID if they have left the college now? Okay, this is a very good question. They can, but let the university know that they are no longer at this particular university, and if it is totally fine to get the LOR from them, because the professor has still taught you. I mean, when you were there at the college, the professor was still there, so that's fine. So they have the bottom line is the professor needs to know you. There shouldn't be any stipulations about this professor if they are still there. I mean, they could be retired, or they could be taking a sabbatical, or they could have left the university, and that totally happens. They could be in a completely different organization altogether. So that's totally fine. But put it in an email and write to the university and see if it is okay. Because that way you have let them know that this is the case even before this thing. Because tomorrow can't hold it against you saying that okay, this we never knew this. So let them know, put it in email and put it on record saying this is what it is. I'm getting the LOR from a professor who is no longer working at this particular university, or they might be in a different university, and that's totally fine. 99% of the time it's that happens. People can move jobs, so that is totally fine. But yeah, for just to be on the safe side, put it on record and send it off to the university, to the evaluations committee. How do we intimate the university? Via email or an application? Put it in email. I mean, so that is something that you cannot put it in an application. So put it in a email. So I mean, even before you start the process, you can always put it in an email. Send it to whoever you're coordinating with. If I prepare simultaneously with continuing my studies at university, is it reasonable to aspire joining a US university for undergrad when I'm already in first year of undergrad? Simultaneously with continuing my studies at university, is it reasonable to? Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about a transfer program. Transfer programs very, very common in the US. So yes, I mean it doesn't matter if you're already in a program and then you're trying to get it transferred. That's uh, that's totally fine. But if you're joining from the first year, you need to have a good reason to leave this and go for that. So that's something. And so yeah, I mean but I would definitely recommend some sort of a transfer program because you don't have to waste that much time. I mean, if you're doing 10 courses and 10, I mean, so let's say you have 10 credits, and if they are able to transfer at least 6 or 8 credits, you only have to do 2 more this thing. I would I would definitely not recommend, like taking completely, off from the thing and then going for a program that may or may not work in your favor. I mean, you'll have to, then if that happens, if you're completely off from, if you've come out of a program in the university that you're currently in, then you're applying, then your entire thing is, you're banking on the fact that you may or may not get an acceptance from the US university. So try for a transfer program as much as possible, wherever it is possible. Can we aim for similar level of university after 2, 3 years of a work experience as compared to going directly after undergrad? Yes, if that is what you want to do, you can do that. But people who are going for work experience, make sure the field of study in which you're doing the work experience, preferably it should be a good transition to the field of study that you're going to do over there. Either whatever you've done, whatever your work experience is, and whatever you're planning to do, there has to be a good transition. It becomes easier for you to uh, let them know that you have a vision in mind. You have a certain when you tell them that I'm interested in this field, they will have no trouble believing you. So that is what, if you're going for work experience, yeah, definitely go for that. Okay, assuming there are no further this thing, over to you, Galvanize team.
Thanks, Arvind. I guess, yeah, that's it from our side. Thanks for joining, guys. Thanks, Arvind. I guess people are very impressed with the session today. And we have many attendees on YouTube as well.
All right.
So, yeah. Great. Thanks, Arvind. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining for the wonderful session.
Thank you,
Until
and
then, bye
the
bye.
students, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.